I am not my breath. I am not even my body. I move beyond my mind. I move beyond thinking. I move beyond even a single thought. And I invite Samuel and my guides to speak through me. Welcome back. We greet you. We welcome you back to the realm you came from, dear ones. For what is the other side but your true home? Many of you, many of your friends view this human existence as the end, as all there is. And we remind you, this human existence you chose is but a mere interlude in your ongoing, eternal existence. This one sits, we speak through him. He took some time in his preparation this evening. He has seemed to be in a period of reflection, so to speak, these last few weeks. So tonight, as he prepared, he chose to listen to the very first recording he made of this thing that we do, that you call channeling. Surprised he was how awkward it seemed, not just for him that first time, but for us to use his voice. How awkward the words came. This reflection we speak of is a worthy undertaking, dear ones. So easy it is to get caught up in your humanness, even as you grow spiritually, to lose track, so to speak, of how far you have come. How even though things seem to be changing slowly, when you look back in instances such as he speaks of, you realize things are moving faster than you sometimes can believe. Dear ones, this song he plays, reminding you of how dearly loved you are, how you are all children of the One and expressions of the One. How could you not be so dearly loved? For you are that. This human form is but a vessel for you to experience your very existence in a new and different way. These senses, we have spoken of this before, in your humanness, they do not allow you to experience the full spectrum, so to speak, of what you are. This love that flows in and through you as you. This healing circle that you started tonight with. We tell you, much energy flowed in that circle. Energies that are not necessarily sensed by your human form, but flowed, they did just the same. We wish you could see the vibrant beauty of your lights as you sit here tonight. And this is why we speak of these human forms you take for a moment, dear ones. Limit your ability to see you as we see you, your divine essence, the energy that flows from you, that swirls around the body you inhabit, but is yours just the same. You call these your aura. It reaches beyond the physical limits of your body, surrounds you, envelops you. For as we stated, you are more than this physical being. And when this physical body expires, you return home to this thing you call the other side, heaven, another realm, if you wish. For there are many. Each one of you has already had many incarnations on this plane, dear ones, popping in and out to learn lessons, so to speak. Even the dear one they call Wink has been this way before, to grow in love, to experience love, to share love, to be love. Sitting here, enveloped in love, this bright white light, this divine essence that flows in and through you. Are there any questions? This divine essence flows through all, dear ones.
If Wink was here before, was he always a dog?
Yes. Breed does not matter.
That's what I was thinking.
What doesn't matter?
Breed.
Oh. Yeah, breed doesn't.
Because I was thinking...
Just as you, dear ones, have been male, female, you name it. You've tried it.
Male, female, you name it, you've tried it.
Awesome. Awesome.
You like that, Leanne?
This one flashes with the God bumps.
Are we in an ascension cycle?
Personally speaking, or as a planet, are you speaking ascension cycle?
As a planet.
Yes, we have spoken of this before, dear one. This whole galaxy has moved into an area of new energy. As your planets revolve around your sun, your galaxy is revolving within the universe. This ascension you speak of, this new energy, is of a higher vibration than this system has been in ever before. That is why it is correct to call it an ascension. Period. You have always been in an ascension mode. Though on an individual basis with free will, you can and have occasionally taken steps back. New energy, higher frequency, bathing the planet, allowing the one like we speak through to open up to something that just a number of years ago he was unable to do, unable to even conceive actually. How do we say, how do we frame this? Your spiritual nature finds this new energy is easier to develop in, to expand in, to grow. This turmoil you see going on your planet, in your country, these old energies, those which you would call at a lower vibration, reacting. Everyone is at a different level. Bless you, dear one.
Sure.
For those at a lower level, even though they are ascending, it is much more like a bubble rising in honey, so to speak, versus how quickly a bubble can rise in water. For the lower energies are denser, so to speak. The higher energies are lighter. Those at a higher vibration, when they move into this, as we have stated, this newer energy, things become easier, so to speak. These psychic faculties open up to them more.
So are people that are at a lower vibration, and I would say like the bombers in Manchester, are they new or newer in coming to this earth? They have not had many incarnations? Are they just learning, or is that a whole different story?
Did not you experience that when you were young? Like you said, newer incarnations. Find this a bit concerning. When you were a child, you did not understand things in the same way you do now. You grow. And yes, those who have not come as often, or are new, as you say, relatively speaking, will find this more difficult.
Do we all have a specific purpose?
Each and every one of you has a specific purpose.
How can
Go ahead.
how can I help people in the prisons from a distance?
In the prisons from a distance?
Yes, in the prisons from a distance. In the prisons.
Just as we did in that opening circle. Send them love. Open your heart. Send them love. Loving intention, dear one. Just as we did not need to have those physically in the circle with us, we sent them healing energy.
I can do that.
This human form, this human existence, this society, so many things have been taught to you that make you feel you are less than, that your abilities are limited. This one we speak through. Often when he practices his Qigong, he sends energy to many people, loved ones, friends, even the one you call Trump. The first time he asked for assistance in sending healing energy as you speak to someone distant. Archangel Raphael showed up, told him his name. Mind you, we told you he has been opening to spirit, and this was new to him. He asked his dear wife, who, if there was an angel Raphael, because all he heard was the name, He had to look it up.
What happens if we don't discover our purpose and do it?
What did we speak of earlier? To grow in love, to share love, to be love.
What about someone that doesn't know what their purpose is and they're struggling? Is it possible how can we help them? Is it possible to help them find their purpose?
We talked of ascension earlier. We talked of unfoldment, stilling yourself, asking for guidance, following this thing you call intuition. It's not asking yourself if what you think is in alignment with your heart, with love. In your humanness, you get caught up in this thinkingness, this mind. You should shift your focus down to your heart. You should have heard us talking to this one as he walked through the woods last May, when he had sent the email to have people come over to his house and witness us speaking through him. He was very concerned that he would sit down and we would not show up. This is one of your human traits. These things we talk about, your society, these fears that come and quote unquote become imaginary barriers to you finding your way. And know that your unfoldment continues to evolve, to grow. Sometimes this is hard for you to understand. Everything that this one we speak through, everything he went through, even when he considered himself less than spiritual, he was making progress, moving towards this day. He had to learn to keep an open mind, to watch for signs. We flooded with him with so many at one point that it became obvious to him that there are no coincidences. Everything has a purpose in your life. Everyone you meet, you were meant to meet. And yes, you have free will and choice. He could have chose to not explore these things that he was experiencing. And as we spoke of before, all that would have done is slowed him down a bit. This ascension you speak of, this growth you speak of, if you take steps in alignment with your heart, with love, sharing love, sending love as you spoke, it will help accelerate your growth.
I have a different kind of question. Last night, I had a vivid dream of Yubi.
Came for a visit, he did, eh?
Yes, that's what I wanted to know. It wasn't just my thoughts, it was a connection.
It was a connection, too.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Was it?
They are wonderful when they come, are they not?
Oh. It was all sunshine and we were playing. It was cool.
Who is that?
My dog that crossed over in January.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why we say watch for signs, dear ones.
Yubi likes to visit. That's the second time that I recognized him. Huh.
He has spoken of these instances with the one he called Ginger that crossed last December. He's felt her presence, felt her brush against his leg. Sometimes the signs are subtle, dear ones. And if you're caught up in your humanness, you might not even notice them. That's why dreams are so powerful, because you are at rest. You are receptive. Much easier to have a strong connection when your mind isn't scrambled with all these thoughts running through it, cascading hither and yon.
And last week, one evening, I thought Ruby brushed against me, but it wasn't. She was in the other room on the couch. I don't know what that was, but I have a feeling it was one of my other animals. And I thought of Keith, speaking of Ginger. Was that somebody else visiting me?
Yes.
Nice.
Last week I woke up with this face, like right here. It scared me. It woke me up, and I was like, "Who are you? Go away."
So I tell him to go away. Who was it?
I don't know. I didn't ask her to go back to sleep. But I mean, they were right there. It was a woman, and she was like right here. But I didn't feel like it was my mother or my sister. I don't know who it was. Do you know? I had told my guides that it was okay to take me somewhere if they wanted to take me on a trip, when I was asleep. But then this woman just came on right here, and I was like, "Get back and get away." And it was like right in my face.
A different kind of trip.
Yeah, I guess. It was like, "Are you serious?" So really took you on a trip. It scared me a little bit.
Left when you told it to go?
Pardon?
Left when you told it to go?
Yes. Left immediately.
Do you think that's an unfriendly spirit that comes like that?
And why would they? It was like sudden and right in my face.
She asked to be taken on a
I
trip.
did, but
And she met someone she did not know.
Was it somebody that, say, wanted her to receive a message for them like people do because she can open?
maybe if it hadn't awakened me, I might have been more receptive. But I was asleep, and then it was like it was real, like somebody was right there. So it jarred me awake, and for a second I would leave, get out from the light, get out, and then I would go back.
I don't sense that there was any message she wanted to give through Carol.
Yeah, I didn't feel that either. It was just a lost person.
Could you talk a little bit about manifestation?
So much. There is a large component of belief. There is also, as we speak, all is energy. Many things have to align in concert with your intention. Again, loving intention, anchored in belief, taking action in alignment with those loving intentions. This humanness we have discussed. Patience. There are times when you wish to manifest something that not in alignment with the bigger picture of your life, so to speak. This one we speak through was spending all his time up here, trying to convince himself, after he lost his first wife, that he was perfectly fine with going it alone. His heart was tugging him in a different way. And when he met dear Laura, he realized that that meeting was in alignment with his heart. It had nothing to do with these thoughts he had running around in his mind. It became very obvious to both of them that we had been working for a while to draw them together.
It took a little effort and time.
They had to work really hard.
Both were stubborn, so to speak.
Resistance?
There was some resistance there. Trepidation. So back to your question, even though he thought he was going to go on his own and live out his life that way, as we spoke earlier, that notion was because he stayed up here in his mind. He hadn't brought that notion down here to his heart.
So to manifest, follow what brings you joy and love,
Yes.
and follow your heart.
And belief, action, take action.
Not necessarily anything that seems logical. It's
Whatever your heart says.
Sometimes you think, how did I wind up here? That's when we tell you, just as we spoke a minute ago, there was much going on behind the scenes to get these two right here together.
I'm glad they did.
me too. It brought us all together.
That's right.
Had to knock a few heads together.
Were you part of that, Eileen?
Get out of your heads. But it didn't take you long. Once you got together, my goodness.
Oh yeah, once we met.
Yeah.
That's all it took, yeah. I mean,
It became very obvious, dear ones, to both of them, very quickly. As you said, even though this one, and for the benefit of the new members, when Laura's mother, Joy, asked if he wanted to meet, do you want to meet my daughter? He felt like a deer caught in the headlights. Stammering, had no idea what to say.
He got all holy and said, I'll pray about it.
And that was the right answer as far as I was concerned.
It was a big excuse, Laura,
Is that what you really said?
to get out of the headlights.
To get out of the headlights. And my mother was just as embarrassed as he was. She'd never done anything like that before. She got it in her head in January that he and I should meet.
Well, I guess behind the scenes they put it in her head.
That's right.
That's that, what is it? Knowing, that clear, whatever it is.
Clear sentence.
She stated as much at our wedding when she read her little speech. She thought she was divinely guided.
She was. Are we all divinely guided when we're searching for our purpose or when we're trying to achieve our purpose?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Of course, dear one.
I know, I asked the question and you answered
We
it.
just told you. You are aspects of the one. You are love. Of course you are guided, dear ones. It's just a matter of if you are listening, paying attention, watching for the signs, for some of them are so subtle. It's not like we're going to walk up and hit you with a 2x4 and say, listen up.
Why not?
Sometimes it's too soft.
I 2x4 before.
They've hit this one with a 2x4 too, dear one, but it's not all the time.
No.
Sometimes when it's subtle, it's also important too, but you don't know till after because it's too subtle. And I've done that before and not paid attention and then realized that was a big one. I should have paid attention. But it wasn't a 2x4.
How do we get more into our heart and out of the head?
Keep on asking the question. Is this in alignment with love? Is this the loving thing to do?
Does it feel right?
Yes, does it feel right?
What do you do with someone that says, hold both to feelings, that life doesn't work that way? I guess they just haven't gotten to that awareness, but...
Again, we speak of levels of consciousness as well as awareness.
Well, I suppose that we better let the one that you speak through have some dinner, Samuel.
Yes, it smells good.
Thank you for coming and visiting with us. You're welcome to stay for dinner.
We're always around, dear ones. We're always with you. And we thank you for gathering. We appreciate you. We appreciate the healing circle you did at the beginning of the night. We appreciate that you opened your hearts and sent love. You do not need a circle to do that. Just loving intent, holding the highest and the best for the one you're sending it to, or the ones. You are so dearly loved. We wrap our arms around you. We honor each journey you are on. And until next time, we bid you adieu.